Luther Season 5 Premiere Review ScreenRant. Over the past few years, Neil Cross has continued to cultivate a particular brand of gritty, bleak storytelling that has more or less become his signature style. While he's written, in other words, Cross has staked a claim in a particularly barren and desolate area of television storytelling, the ultra-bleak crime show. And as he's evolved, at the start of Season 5, Cross seems interested in pushing the envelope further with regard to tone and just how gritty and violent things can get before the audience turns away. Given the fan base, the first hour introduces the killer, who stalks the streets of London wearing a semi-translucent clown mask and a ring of LED lights around his hood to confuse the many CCTV cameras around the city. It's a startling look. It's not long before Luther is on the case with his new partner, Detective Sergeant Catherine Halliday. It doesn't take much sleuthing to figure out who the mystery person is, and the first hour doesn't exactly play coy that Ruth Wilson's Alice is in fact she's appeared in marketing materials from the series prior to the premiere, though she has a limited role to play at first. As such, it's a busy first hour that puts Luther back on a familiar path, one where he's the top dog leading up the investigation, and where his cynicism and weariness cause him to toe the line when it comes to ethics of the way he approaches his handling of the legal system. It also reunites. Luther Season 5 continues next Sunday at 9 p.m. on BBC America. Subscribe for the hottest movie, TV, and gaming news. I agree to let ScreenRant send me emails.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.